Blah 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 blah. Go live. Go live. Hajime yo. Hajime yo. Hajime yo. Hajime yo yo. Go live. We are going live. We have never been this live, Rocky. We are just about as live as we can be. Just about as live as we can be. Hajime yo. Okay. So, as always, we're gonna start with gesture drawing. You're welcome to ask questions and stuff. Later we're gonna continue what we started yesterday, which is the pelvis. Very important subject right there, the pelvis is. But first, we of course will start from some warm-ups with these guys, with drawing some gestures. I feel like I mean, there's no amount of doing this that is enough. You can just do this forever, and it's always fun. It's always helpful. It's always good for warm up. It's really like you can't go wrong. You cannot go wrong with this, if you know what I mean. There is no going wrong with gesture. There just isn't. So keep doing it, and you will get better. Today I'm streaming on, I think it's like 4 platforms, so please bear with me. I'm still kind of trying to find my rhythm. Center line. Bony landmark of the pelvis. think an S curve. S curve. And angle of the knee. Shin. Defining contact with the floor of the foot. A bit of a cross contour here to show volume, show form. Look how short this is, as usual. Very short. You can think about the perspective here. Nice perspective. Arms crossed, just indicating form. Not going to do much more than this. And that's where I call, a gesture like this complete. No need for more than that. And I move into the next one. You should be thinking about those like, am I looking from above? Am I looking from below? That type of thing. In this case, we're obviously looking from above. I do like to throw in like maybe a cross contour just to show that we're looking at it from above. So that makes it easier for me. Also center line to show center line showing the movement is very good. These legs are foreshortened again, especially this part, the calf, very foreshortened, but also the upper part. Again, looking at where the foot comes in contact with the floor, very important. Very, very important. Look at the distance between the knees. And then, just how much this leg is foreshortened. Because it's a lot. I mean, look at that. These are the types of things that you kind of like look at when you practice, and then you soak it in, and you get better at it when you draw your own stuff. Try to mark the knee a little better. Not sure if that's working for me, but whatever. Starting on the arms really loosely, just to get the general gist of it. And then I'm adding just a tiny bit of anatomy, not too much. Right. Something like that. And again, that is enough for me to feel like I learned something. It's about like 180 seconds. That's all that we're doing for each pose. If I wasn't streaming, I might go even faster, but for the purpose of not feeling too stressed. This is enough for me at this point. にゃっとくにゃっとくこんばんは。最近どう？最近どうすか？Again, we can throw in like a cross contour just to show even think about like what it looks like on the inside really quickly. And then for me, it's a cross between looking at silhouette, trying to understand the actual perspective that I'm looking at, and using construction, what I know about, anatomy and construction of the human body, to help me define the form even better. And, these are, I think you see lots of like very beautiful gesture drawings online. I don't really care about making it super beautiful. Nyatsuko da tomo. そうですね. שלום, שלום רב לחברים ולידידות. そうですね. If there are people on Instagram, I usually recommend to move to YouTube to watch this horizontal. It's much better. Thinking about the rib cage. Here, I'm gonna try to do it faster. Thinking about the pelvis. Thinking about the angle of these guys. Thinking in really big blocky forms. In really big shapes, not even forms. Just trying to feel the space that this is occupying. You've done some master studies of the Naked Man series. I did. That's very... Well, I appreciate that. I'm always surprised when people tell me they draw my stuff. I'm like, holy shit, you like it that much? Let's see. So again, even like when you look at it like this, you can think about the form without thinking specifically about a body part. I don't know if that makes sense. Yeah, the stuff is more visible, even though I think I really got fucked on Instagram. I don't know why, but at some point, maybe because I changed my content, it used to be much more kind of like travel sketch based, and then I started doing much more drawing from imagination, and it really, I think the algorithm really hated that, and now my engagement is absolute dog shit, to be quite honest. But I'm not doing it for the engagement. I mean, not really. For the love of the craft. Anyways, I'm always really happy to hear that, people are, inspired, and helps them, I don't know, learn something or pursue their own goals. Wait, you don't know I do travel sketches? I was a digital nomad for 3 years. I was doing these travel sketches all the time. That's how the main account, that's how like the Instagram account got big, because people really liked those travel sketches. And also, I didn't know it at the time, but I invented a format that people started copying, which was just to like take a like a millisecond video every few minutes, and then piecing them together and creating this like time lapse. And apparently nobody was doing it back then, and people thought it was great. I don't know, for some reason they liked it. And yeah, back then it went nuts. Back then it went nuts. It's a pretty difficult pose. Also, I feel like some of these 3D models are kind of hard to work with, because the poses can get so extreme and sometimes it's not super realistic. It's much better to do warm-ups like these from it's much better to do it from actual pictures of naked people. Obviously I don't want to get canceled. I already got canceled for so many things. Just can't keep my mouth shut. I always have to change something, and people don't like when you change stuff. They really don't appreciate it. Like the algorithms for sure don't appreciate that. Throwing some cross contours. Throwing a bit of this, a bit of that. I like how, look at what's happening here. I think it's, what's his name, Hampton? He advocates for using S-curves for the legs when you start. And his method is he's not even outlining them, he's just like showing some form. To each his own, I guess. Yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about. It's like it bans you for doing all kinds of shit. Especially for anything that has a little bit of nakedness in it. A bunch of naked stuff will get you banned in no time. But the thing is, art, right? Art throughout the centuries have always been about drawing naked people. So like what the hell do you guys expect? Seriously. Art is for drawing naked people and penises, right? Right. Yes, KJG said, because it's there, you draw it. You draw what you see. You draw what's there. By the way, I was given a studio tour in South Korea of of Jeonggi's studio, and they showed me like the real stuff, right? The sketches that they don't show anybody because it's like they didn't want to hurt his image, but he had like his own sketchbooks that they were not showing anybody. And man, it was crazy. Like I'm talking about like I don't think I can even say it on live here, but no, the public sketchbooks are well, most of his work is public, but he was drawing stuff like mass, you know, mass scenes of massive provocation, if I could describe it like that. It is so good, by the way. His friend Hyunjin, right? He told me that it was kind of like his way to deal with his inner world, inner desires, which makes sense. Don't we all have crazy desires inside? Anyways, if you ever go to Korea, there's the museum that they put together, and it's worth giving it a visit. Absolutely. I'm gonna do one last gesture, and then we're gonna dive into today's subject, which is gonna be a continuation from yesterday. We started talking about the pelvis, and the pelvis is super important, and it's super hard to draw. So I'm gonna continue what we talked about yesterday. The other thing that I wanted to say is that I'm getting more consistent with these lives, and then what I'm gonna do is, so all of the lives are free, but there's gonna be educational content that will have like part 2 and 3, and just because I might be out of a, yeah, hell yeah, man, draw with me. So yeah, so just because I might be out of a job soon, from a day job, I'm gonna try to make this something that, will be, might be income generating in the future. So some of the more professional educational content is going to live on a Patreon that I'm putting together. Yeah. But again, I'm gonna go live, and that's gonna be, all the juice is gonna be on the live, and that's gonna be free. So it's just saying it for various platforms. Let's go. Let's go. Do you have to draw in order in your process? Like, where do you start drawing first? Where do you start? It's a good question. I think well, it's generally good when you do a gesture like this. It's generally good to start with the head, but honestly, you should do what's comfortable to you. I think most people kind of like find it easy to start with the head. But then you will see that the more experience you have, you will find that like different landmarks work for you. Like some people do stuff like some people really like the spine for a landmark. Some people really like the rib cage, areas of the pelvis. I'm gonna try to talk about order in the next live when I go back into sketching like that. Anyways, this is where we stopped last time with the pelvis. And what we did is we took this model of the pelvis, and we tried to create, I did it, right? We didn't do it together, I'm sorry, but I did it. I took this model of the pelvis, and I created basically a model, like a simplified model. And I encouraged everybody to create their own simplified model of the pelvis or whatever you're drawing. And I came up with basically I divided it into 3, but it's basically 4 shapes. So we have the tailbone, these guys here. I'm sorry that I don't remember names. I probably should, but this is as far as I'm gonna get for this one. These guys, and then this piece. And then we looked at how that simplifies kind of your ability to turn it in space, because it's a very complex shape. And today what I want to do is I want to look at how other artists, what other artists come up with for their own version of the simplified pelvis. So I'm going to go into that, and we're going to draw some of the examples, and we're going to analyze it, and then we're going to maybe twist them in space and see what we can learn from other artists. Okay, so I wanted to start with these guys. So this is Tom Fox. And I wanted to look at the various ways in which he describes a simplified pelvis. So we can see that one of them is he sort of like connects the tailbone in these areas up here, and his model seems to be just a bit more it's less rounded, which I like. We can use perspective lines to see how the thing aligns with itself, right? But again, conceptually, it's the same. So we can see that he does something like this. And he's not really paying attention to the two loops that we would usually have here that would go kind of like around, like that. So I kind of like that. We can go ahead and say, oh, we like this model, so let's explore drawing it from another angle. I mean, this is what I really believe in. I really believe that you have to draw everything from another angle. Whatever you draw, like this is how I got good, is just I took everything and I just drew it from another angle. Literally everything. And sometimes I would have like a good looking drawing, sometimes I couldn't do it for shit, but the bottom line, the gist of it is, it forces you to draw from imagination. Yes, these are obliques above the pelvis, absolutely. So again, I'm looking at Tom's model. We're trying to draw it from another angle, feeling it out. And I would assume that there's a circle there. Right? So we already have just a tiny bit more understanding. And then we can always try to imagine a human on top of it. Maybe add those obliques, like you said, like this. Add a center line. put it on the side here and continue. What else do we have? I see another, if we look at this one is even more simplified. It looks like just a box, really, that we're looking at from below. So we can take that, and again, from many, many angles. I don't think that this one is as useful. Oh fuck, I'm running hot again. Let's see what else. You can see that he takes it to sometimes look like this one like becomes super sketchy. Really sort of like, yeah, gestural almost. But it's actually, you know, it gets the point across, and it's pretty good, I would say. Like if we took it, I mean, once you kind of know it, you can start iterating it on it in a way that is actually gestural, and it will feel correct because, you know, you have the feeling for the form in your head. Let's see what else. What other references have I gathered? What other references have I gathered here? Neko-chan, どうしたの? 猫ちゃん。猫ちゃん。Okay, what other references? Right, this one. So I think it's actually really, I think what we're learning here is that it's really liberating to see that he is exploring the pelvis not in one fixed method. So he's understanding it in many different ways, and he's finding, you know, something that suits I assume, not only, his mental framework, but also kind of like what he needs to understand at the moment. Does that make sense? Draw pill. What are you drawing, draw pill? Oh, nice. So again, I think for every reference that you draw, draw one from imagination. This is my gospel, really. So for example, I'm just gonna redraw this Tom Fox model. Reimagine it from this side. And it's kind of like a bucket with a frontal lobotomy. I don't know. It's like a bucket with a it's kind of like a weird toilet shape. I don't even know what it is. What else? Couple more. Oh, this one from the back is interesting. And sometimes I feel like I already want to change it to something that I like better. But do you remember this drawing from yesterday, the profile piece? Side profile. This is where we saw that like the way that this bone works is that it goes forward. And then we see it again in the model here. I think these things are really important. Tailbone. I'm gonna look at this at this, and I see that in reality it would be something more like that. Right? I want to add from my knowledge these loops that exist in the front. Not great. Something like that, maybe. Maybe something like that. Let's draw it from another angle. Maybe we have this one. I think sometimes it's hard to decide on an angle, on your next angle. So I like to refer to my previous angle and then, think about like the next angle that I'm, because then I know that I'm drawing something different and I'm not falling into drawing the same thing. So something like that. And we can kind of like think about how that bone travels. I don't know, to me, it helps me to imagine it traveling, on an actual person's skin. I think this is what I have in my next reference here. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, this. I think these references are really good. Because this is what you really have to remember when you're drawing a figure, unless you want to sort of like draw it from the inside out every time. Not sure that this is something that I want to deal with. But here goes. So we will start just with the bony landmark. We don't even care about the whole shape. But we know that it's something like that. So the three landmarks that we really care about are these two and the pubic bone here. Because this is what we can see we can really see on the surface. So now we can go in and, draw the person on top. And you can also see how it affects for example, how it affects the silhouette. I think it's really cool.あっちゃんどう？もう寝ますか？まだいるんですか？知らんすけど。Okay, I'm going to go in and draw the rest of the pelvis. So again, this is where the spine connects. And then we have the tailbone. We kind of have a rough pelvis here. Let's go ahead. I think these references are really good. Really, really good to understand. Like, you should probably remember this. So the next one is how it behaves from the side. You see a lot of artists using this as shorthand when people draw like the leg connecting to the abdomen. They do that, and basically what you're seeing is this. Basically, they're using this bone from the pelvis.おいおいコメントしたじゃん。ペルビスさんはかわいいっすか？ちょっと待ってください。なんか全部の、コメント見えない。なんですか？インスタほとんど見ない。The pelvis is shaped like a child seat. And when you look at it from above, it has a cute heart shape. That is correct. It has a cute heart shape from above. That is correct. Cute heart shape from above. This is really good. You can really burn this image into your mind. Let's look at the example on the back. This live got 232 likes on TikTok. What does that mean? Okay, so again, these are really good landmarks. I think this reference is really good. I will put links to the references used in this video in my Patreon, which you can sign up for starting today. Again, bony landmarks here, super important because you can actually see them. You can actually see them on the body. You can use them for shorthand to connect them to all kinds of stuff. And as you can see with the pelvis here, there are various shapes. People are playing with it in various ways. And for example, like the reference here is very different to the references that we used before this one, and yet it looks believable. So there's not like one way to do this. Very important to remember. I want to look at some real people and try to inject pelvises and try to inject them with fake pelvises. Model. Model. Okay. Let's try to do this guy. So I'm taking the silhouette. Right? redraw center line. And I'm going to try to find the pelvis inside here. And I know that it goes, you know, right under where the oblique is. And I know that the bony landmark here travels like that. So I assume that it would look something like that. Right? And I assume that the pubic bone is going to be around here. We can think about the spine as well. So I'm thinking something like that. Is it perfect? Probably not, but I'm learning. Let's see, let's find another guy or a girl. Let's go for this girl. Again, start with just her silhouette a little bit. I can already see that actually one of the bony landmarks will be here. We can actually use her panties. Allow. To find the perspective. Right, you can use the panties to find the perspective, if that makes sense. So after we drew that lightly, we can go in here and start looking for the pelvis. And these are assumptions that I'm making, right? But I would assume it's doing something like this. Something like that. Don't even ask me. I don't even know how to. I don't know how to turn that. So let's make it even simpler. Something like that. You see, because it's too hard, I simplified it. Mm-hmm. Oh, my life has been restricted. Go to live. One sec. I think my life has been restricted on TikTok. But are we back to business? Are we not? I think maybe we're back. I think so. Hell yeah, man. Drop Bill is with me all the way. pelvis さんはかわいい。かわいいんですか？pelvis さんはかわいくねえよ。かわいくねえよ。まあ、ちょっとだけかわいい。Yeah, I think it's like it's live, but it's restricted to some extent, which I'm not sure what the meaning of that is, but we'll just keep on going strong. Okay, I think what I'm going to do with the pelvis is I'm going to do a couple more human examples, and then when we're done with the humans, we'll do some from imagination, and then we're gonna go into full fun sketching mode. just for absolute fun. Let's find another pelvis. Oh, I'm going crazy with the pelvis here. It's too much pelvis for one day. Ah, このハーツはペルビスさんか。そっか。So nice. Look how it's twisting and turning inside the body. Springing out from the back and sort of like looping around. Shachar, מה קורה? Springing out from the back and looping around. Yo, yo. My friend. I know this guy. We've known each other from first grade. So very important how the bony landmarks sort of like travel across the form, like so. I mean, if you remember anything from today, it should be that. And then, you will have the femur coming out of here and stuff. That is for a later thing that we will discuss, but there is the femur. I think we will talk about, because the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to talk about the bones of the legs in tomorrow's stream or whatever. Okay, let's go ahead and try to do some of our own. And I'm going to start with maybe full gestures, maybe full connections of the two masses, like the torso and the pelvis. We'll do 3 of them. One, two, three. What are you drawing, draw pill? Are you drawing a pill? Are you possibly drawing a pill? That's good. That sounds good. I mean, that's, here you go. While you're rotating forms, you might as well do this, right? Haha. And now we can think about the pelvis to find these bony landmarks. The Holy Trinity. Once we do, we can connect, like, say, a center line. And look. All of a sudden, very quickly, we get, you know, we get a figure. Do, do, do. Oh, just some forms. And you can do it really quickly, right? You can like when you know the landmarks like that. Again, landmarks. Here's the landmarks. Maybe even the spine. Another landmark. And then, like my girlfriend said in the comments, she said it's a heart shape from above. You see the heart shape? It actually is a heart shape. right? Again, very quickly. You can get to something like this. And it's all because you know what's going on inside. Wait, I changed it up a little bit. Add a center line so it's easy to show even more. Right? That is the power of understanding. You can start laying a base figure from your imagination very quickly. This is again what we looked at today. Again, I'm going to show you the side view from that reference. Where was it? Side view, side view. Where was that nice one? Oh, almost lost it. Side view, this one, look. Sheesh. Again, if you think about the pelvis like that, about the real landmarks of the pelvis, the Holy Trinity. 1, 2, 3. You have the base out of which you can build your dream girl. Right? That's all that it is. And if you think about the rib cage and think about connecting them, center line, right? Right. 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 Sheesh. Okay, what I'm gonna do for now is I'm gonna take a 5-minute break. We've been going for an hour and a half. I'm gonna take a 5. I'm gonna take 5. Minute break. Five-minute break. Been going for a long time. And after that, I'm gonna go into this. We started this yesterday. We're on a break, yeah? Honjoka. Meow, meow. Should I eat something? Should I eat something? I need to eat something. Gotta eat before I collapse. 日ライブするよ毎日毎日ライブするよ Few more minutes 歌はどうすかいいんですかドゥルルルOkay. I got some snacks. Let's see. It's not nuts. It's like a chocolate coated pretzel thing. It's really good. Yeah. Cheers, man. Cheers. All right. What did I want to talk about? 美味しそうか。そうだね。まあ美味しいです。So basically I'm working on a YouTube video, and the way I've been doing it is I wrote a script, well, a little polished with AI, but just a tiny bit. I wrote it. And basically it's about drawing from imagination. And what I started doing yesterday was drawing like what would be the final time-lapse piece for this video. So I'm going to continue. I think we got into like, we're like about halfway in. Let's see. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so now we're in the section where we talk about all the different angles. So I'll start a new page. And we'll go into that. So the script says, mannequin study another angle, anatomy study another angle, right? So let's just do a little bit of that. Can do a little bit of a mannequin. And then we'll do another angle. Of course. And we just talked about the pelvis, right? That is the character. We're always doing the character. The world famous character. So I think it's fun if you are developing your own brand. Whatever you do, you should have like a consistent thing that people sort of like recognize you by. So even if I'm teaching anatomy or whatever, I can use the character from the manga. And that's just, I guess it's effective for brand image. And also it's easy because you don't have to think about what to draw. Like you have your framework. So, yeah, whatever you draw from another angle. That's the gist, and we're just going to continue doing that. Let's call this angle 1. Then we're going to do angle 2. Because this is what we were put on this earth to do. Draw stuff from different angles. My angle is cooler. Just gonna add little jokes into the script. Into the thing. And then you can't see his hand from that angle, so maybe this character says, your hand is invisible. Invisible from So this is actually a good point to think about what is visible and what is not from a certain angle. Let's see what else we have in the script. He was also talking about anatomy, so let's do an anatomy example. Exemple. Let's do one arm from below. From below low. And we'll do one from above. As above, so below. Do you know that movie? As above, so below. Mm-hmm. I haven't looked at Instagram. Rocco, nice job. Thank you. It's the one with the in Paris, right? With the catacomb. Or am I mistaken? I think that's the one. Yeah. It was pretty intense. I like that. Which, by the way, only goes to show that you should never trust a French dude. I don't know. I guess they just wanted to challenge themselves or something. They wanted like an adventure. Blah blah blah. I'm spending too long on this arm. You get the gist of this arm. The point is, whatever you draw, you should, if you draw from reference or from your, well, if you whatever you draw from reference, at least, draw from one more angle. Were they finding the Philosopher's Stone? Were they looking for something? I don't remember what they were doing. They just went there. You just wanted to... Maybe I'll watch it again. Possibly. It's much more fun to draw when you have some people around you, because like it can get so lonely to just be like you and the page. You're like, what am I doing? So I need to go from being absolute. Okay. Looking at this part of the script, why this works, why is this method so powerful? It goes back to my 2 points. Forces you to actually draw from imagination. You no longer have to fear a blank page and ask yourself what to draw. You already have your subject, so you're not starting from nothing. This makes it easier to get into the habit of just drawing from your head. What could be good to show for that? I know. Maybe I know. He's coming out of the page. Let's say that he's coming out of the page. Wait. あっちゃんもう寝ますか?寝ますね. I guess we're drawing some pens here. Oh, like, yeah, I know what you're talking about. It's called it's like a jam board or something like that. Some board where you can. Yeah, I think that could be fine. That could be fun. That could be pretty fun. Hmm. 眠いから寝ちゃうかもしれません。今頑張りますけど、とっても眠いです。もう寝てください。寝てください。寝てくださいします。お願いします。誰なの子？ちっちゃいチキンさん？ Paranoia, hello. What? Paranoia. Thing is, I want Wadu to. He should kind of come out of the page. I'm going to attempt to draw a pretty difficult pose. Can I make it work? I see that the platform is telling me to encourage my viewers to send gifts and thank them for their support. I thank you all for your support. Thank you, Drop Bell. Thank you, Nyatuku. Thank you, Paranoia. Thank you, everyone. Most of all, it's just fun to have some people chilling with me here. I don't know if this even, I mean, I guess it reads. It reads. Oh, and here we were talking about the pelvis before. This is exactly where we can look at that again. See those landmarks. So he's coming out of the page. Almost as if it was a pool. That's the idea anyway. I'm not sure if it reads or what, but good enough for this tiny section. Look, Ma, I'm coming out the page. I'm coming out the page. Can you believe it? Can you believe it, Ma? I'm coming out the page. Now, I'm not sure if I have juice for one last little drawing here. What do you think? One last one? Yes, sir. Last one. Let's do the last one. I think I have an idea for it. So, I actually have a good idea for it. Yes. Paranoia. Kawaii ka? Yes, yes, yes. So the last drawing here, look at this part of the script. It forces you to learn vocabulary when you do the other angle thing. You have to do serious thinking. Yes, my friends, drawing is not a fun flow state. I stand behind this. Drawing, at least not when you're starting out, not when you're learning how to do it. It's not a fun flow state. It gets more and more fun the more you know, the more you're able to connect to your execution brain seamlessly. But when you're learning, when you're studying for it, you have to think a lot. You can't just like go in and draw. You have to think, what am I doing? You have to understand what you're doing. And I think for me, I didn't know that this is the amount of brain power that it's going to take. And I'm naturally pretty lazy, I think. Lazy on the thinking side. Like, I don't like to think deeply. Not on request anyway. Certainly about things that I care about, but I don't like to study. I don't love studying. So thinking sucks, and I think it really is a tiresome thing. With that said, I have an idea for what the drawing is going to be for that stage. Oh, sorry. I do have an idea here. And it's going to start. Again with waru. True dojo. Dogo. True dogo. Yes, 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 yes. Yes, 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 yes. What are you talking about? He's saying that they detected inactivity. There is no inactivity. Zakenna. Okay. Look what's happening here. Um, a good tip is you should draw hands. For example, in this frame, it would be super easy to just drop the hand, just like have him go like this and that's it. But adding that hand makes it so much more expressive. Right? Do you agree with me? No? You don't agree with me? Yeah. He is debatably bald, but maybe not. Nobody knows. Did you say IT job? Like an IT job? He is ripped. That's his signature thing. No, so the thing about this illustration is his brain is coming out his head, coming out of his... I don't know how the ripples in the brain actually work. That would be nice to learn a little bit better at some point. So then I want his GF, I guess, involved. This might be the hardest here. Let's see if I can get her to work. She's a psycho. She's a psycho. See, this is me trying to figure out her rib cage first. Okay. Fuck. Yeah, see this one? Not entirely sure how this works. Right? Not entirely sure. Not entirely sure. Tabemasu. Tabemasu. Hi. She's eating his brain. I'm just not sure how a hand is holding a fork. But maybe something like that. Yeah, I mean, that makes a whole lot more sense than the last one. Yeah, she's eating his brain. Man, I'm so tired. Yeah, but it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool. Yeah, but it's kind of cool. It was a little weird. That's less weird. See, this is why digital is cheating. If this was traditional, I would have to redraw a whole bunch of stuff right now. But ain't nobody got time for that. Okay, I think we've done a whole lot for today. Neko-chan, arigatou gozaimashita. Soshite, drop bill. Thank you for sticking out. Had so much fun. Paranoia, the rest of the guys that's out here on YouTube. Thank you for joining. I'll be here on most days, so stick around and I will see you next time. Thank you so much. Thank you. Guys on Instagram, thank you so much. YouTube, thank you so much. TikTok, thank you so much.